Greetings gamers, my name is Anto and today I'm going to walk you through one of my favourite free ways to play RPGs using a virtual tabletop, and that's with Owlbear Rodeo. This video is sponsored by Chepeku Maps, more on them later. So I've talked before about how I really like Foundry as my current VTT, and before that I've used Fantasy Grounds as well as Roll20, but sometimes you just want something free and simple, something that just does the basics and nothing more with no bells and whistles, and I think that Owlbear Rodeo is perfect for that. So let's dive in and I'll give you a quick walkthrough of how to use this platform. So here we are on the Owlbear Rodeo site. When you get here, you're going to be greeted with this kind of page. We're going to ignore the button for the Rodeo 2.0 beta because that's got a bunch of different features that I don't want to talk about today. We're just going to hit start game. You can generate a password if you want. We're not going to. We're just going to hit start. And what that'll do is that'll load up a canvas and then we can start setting up our scene and getting ready. And it goes real quick. The first thing we want to do is we're going to want to add a map to this. So we go over to this right hand panel here, we hit select map and we choose the map that we want. I've already gone ahead and preloaded this Thieves Guild map from Chepeku, and you can see it loads in and it looks real nice. You can zoom right in, and then you can also see I've already added some tokens to this before. So along the right here, we get all the tokens that you have access to. So you get options for basic class tokens, so your bards, your rangers, your fighters, and you also get basic monster tokens. So we get aberrations and beasts and celestials. Then you can add your own tokens using the button right at the bottom down here. Click that, it'll load up, give you the option to add your own tokens, import them. You can see I've imported a couple here, and then you can just drag them onto the game mat just by grabbing them and dragging them down. And then if you click on the token, you can see there's these handles at the side. You can use them to change the size, change them to be whatever size you need them for that particular monster. You can also label your monster, so you can call it monsters, or you can add player names to it. You could even start tracking damage with this. So let's say this thing's got 100 hit points. You could track how much damage has been done, or even just say 5 damage, they take another 6 damage, track them up to 11 damage. Really useful way to remind the players how much damage has been done. You can also label them with different colors, so add colored rings around them, and you can stack these up as pretty much as many as you want. These are great for representing things like conditions or representing what is friend and foe. So everything that's green's a friendly, everything that's red's a foe, classic video game style. You can also hide your token with the little eye icon or lock it to prevent it being moved. And you can also change whether it's a character or a prop or a mount or an attachment. Then over in this right hand menu, this first option is the move tool. That's going to allow us to move the map with the left mouse button, move our tokens around and zoom in. Then we have the option for selecting. That's going to allow us to select multiple tokens at once and hide them or lock them all at once. Then we get the fog of war tool. So this bar at the top will allow us to draw fog of war onto our map. You want to make sure that the disable fog cutting is on the right setting, otherwise you're not going to be able to create your fog. So you can see here there's a red outline here, which means that technically we're trying to cut into the fog. So we're just going to get rid of that. Click on our little scissors icon again, and then if we can either use a polygon tool, a rectangle tool, or a brush tool. So if we use the polygon tool and just start drawing in our fog here, you can see that grey color there means that that is going to be covered by fog, which will limit the player's view. So go ahead and finish that off and then hit the preview fog, and that's what the players will see, this grey box. Then we can go ahead and hit enable fog cutting again and use the fog brush to just reveal some of this and hit our preview again, and that's what the players will see. Really simple but really useful tool to use. Then we get the drawing tool, pretty basic stuff. You can draw shapes or brush on the canvas, write notes and things like that, or you can just erase everything really easily. Then we get into the measurement tool that allows you to draw distances between two characters, see how far away they are. Then the pointer tool allows you to kind of highlight an area for your players. So if they're exploring the room and they said, hey, where is it that you're describing? You can be like, oh, I'm describing this desk over here. Just helps them see what's going on a little easier. Then the note tool allows you to drop notes onto the map and add labels to things, add notes that the players might be able to find. And then we've got the undo and redo buttons on this menu on the right here as well. I often find myself spending hours trying to find the perfect battle map for my next session, but thanks to today's sponsor Cheipeku, I no longer need to struggle. Cheipeku makes some of the most beautiful fantasy maps out there, and you've almost certainly seen some of them before. Many of the most climactic battles of my campaigns have been fought over Cheipeku maps, so I am delighted to have them as a sponsor for the channel. Their Patreon is linked in the description below, and for as little as $5 a month you can get access to over 4,000 high detail maps from their back catalogue. As a patron you'll get access to a new pack of maps each month, and all the maps come in gridded and ungridded format, as well as with multiple different variants that change the lighting, time of day, weather and more. You'll also get access to print ready versions of the maps if you prefer to get them physically on the table for your players, and you get access to the awesome animated maps at the higher tier, as well as maps that are pre-configured to Foundry VTT. Patrons can also vote on future maps, use their maps in commercial projects and a whole bunch more. Take your battle maps to the next level by checking out the link in the description, and thanks again to Cheipeku for supporting the channel. Over on the left at the top we have our dice tray, so we can show and hide that. We can add as many dice as we want and we get the option to re-roll them or cancel that out. You also have the option to change what kind of dice that you have, so I've just got the basic galaxy dice, but you can select from a couple different options there. And then you also have the option to share your dice rolls. So if you go ahead here and roll a 20, you can see that it shows your most recent roll up in the left in the party screen. Then over on this left hand side, this is the party screen. This is where it will show who is in the game with you. If you want to change your nickname, you've got this little option here to change your nickname. You can also invite people through this menu here, so you can either give them a direct link or send them the custom invite that they'll put when they reach the login screen. Then you've got the option to share audio. This will share your entire computer's audio, so if you've got Spotify playing or you have a specific piece of music playing, you can push that out to everybody that's connected to the session. And then one of my favorite features, the timer, lets you set a timer, you hit start, and it'll just start counting down at the bottom of the screen. This is really useful if you want to put some time pressure on the players. Always a good way to get them out of decision paralysis, being like, right, okay, you've got 2 minutes to make this decision. And when they can see a timer like this, you don't even necessarily need to say anything, you just start the timer and they will just start to panic. It's always good fun to watch. Then finally, you've got the settings where you can change the theme, edit some of the other options, clear the cache, and import and export data. So there we have it, just a really quick overview of Owlbear Rodeo. It's super simple, but sometimes that's all you need. If your players have all got D&D Beyond characters or accounts on D&D Beyond, or you just want something to show them a map and the relative positions of the tokens, but you don't want to have to deal with Roll20's nightmare interface or learning how to build a whole Foundry suite. You can just ignore all of that and keep it really simple with something like Owlbear Rodeo. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. If you're interested in more powerful VTTs, I have a whole series of videos about Foundry, which I'll link just over here. But until next time, happy gaming.